I wanted to share something with you. You might be wondering, well, actually, you probably not. You probably didn't even notice. I'm not doing any musical projects this year, no recordings, nothing like that. Instead, I'm working on another project, and that project is designing a card game based on Australian politics. It's kind of like a deck building / Game of Thrones type ruthless kind of game. It's based on Australian prime ministers and Australian ministers. And the idea behind the game is that you can play it and have fun with it, and you don't need to know anything about history. But if you wanted to know about history, it's all right there in front of you. So I'll give you a quick look at some of the design things. Now remember, these are just the prototype things that I'm throwing together, okay? So these will be printed out in full, and I'll keep you abreast of progress. The name of the game is called Oi Prime Minister. Okay, so here's kind of how it works. So first of all, what I have is these guys, and the game is kind of all about these guys, and these are your prime ministers. They're going to be very large, tarot-sized cards. There's Gough Whitlam, there's John McEwen, and here's old Ming the Merciless with his eyebrows, Robert Menzies, and so on and so forth. And here's Robert Lyons and all these guys and so forth. And you go right through. You've got Mr. Diarrhea Pants here, yep, and you've got Malcolm Turnbull, the silver spoon prime minister, all those sorts of things, right? And there's good old Albo. The idea is that each one of these prime ministers has powers that do things in the game, but the idea is you have a prime minister, right? But you've got to fill up your cabinet, and your cabinet is filled by these guys, and these guys are all about the same size as an ordinary playing card, right? And so these guys, we've got George Pearce here. If you don't know him, he was the Minister for Defence during the Emu War. Here's Miss Lyons. That was Joseph Lyons' wife, who actually, after he died, became a prominent a politician herself. Here's Chalmers, Jim Chalmers, right, the current thing. So it goes right through history. Here's, look at this guy's name, Granville Ryrie, that's his name. He was a big wig, and here's a bunch of guys here. Eric Harrison, he was a complete bastard. So what you've got to do is you've got to have a prime minister, and then you've got to build a cabinet of 12 of these guys. But each one of these cards, they do something to your cabinet. They do something to the progression of the game. The game itself is going to have 3 decks, and this is why I'm posting this, because this is where I need your help. The third deck of the game is sort of like the driver of the game, and what it is, it's about 130 odd cards, and each card is an event. Each card is a historic event in Australia, dating back to 1901 right up to 2025. And some of the events will be like the Great Depression, the Whitlam dismissal, things like that. And each one of these cards will trigger something in the game, right? So what I'm looking for at the moment, and the reason why I'm making this video and calling out to the public, is because what I need your help in suggesting some events that you would like to see in the game. They don't have to be political events, but they do need to be major public events or major public iconic things. It could be the CSIRO. It could be the Loans Affair with Jim Cairns and Gough Whitlam and all those guys. It could be any number of things. It could be the bushfires. It could be anything that's Australian. So if you think of an event that you might like to see in this game, let me know what the event is. We'll have a look at it. We'll try and figure out what the best representation of the game would be in the mechanics. The name of the game is Oi Prime Minister. Look out for it. I'm building it now. I'm nearly done. We'll start running test runs real soon. Okay, so tell me your ideas. What are your ideas for an Australian event?
I'm going to report this to me Member of Parliament.